Hello friends, I hope you're doing well. So as the video title suggests, the Sephora VIB sale is going on. I don't have status in a lot of places, but Sephora is one place that I do, and so I'm fortunate to be able to receive the 20% off, but I know that the VIB, I think it's just regular 15, and then Rouge is 20. But now is a perfect time to go on Sephora and get the things that you need and maybe some things that you don't. So I thought I would come on and just share with you some of how I approach the sale, and yeah, kind of show you some of my favorite products that I go to back, time and time again. So when I first approach the sale, I typically go and make sure that I get my staples first. This way I make sure that I stock up on the things that I really need and save the money where I know I'll spend it eventually. So the first thing, staples, let's talk about that. So quickly, I use the Tatcha One Step Camilla Cleansing Oil. Oh gosh. This is kind of a luxury product. But I used to use those like Neutrogena cloths to wipe my face and to cleanse every day, but that was just getting a lot, and they're bulky, and I just feel like I had to repurchase them all the time. So investing in a cleansing oil was a really good transition for me, and it's kind of soothing at the end of the day, where you don't have to worry about rubbing anything off. You just literally pump a couple do a couple pumps of the oil and just rub it on your face and then wash, and you don't even have to double cleanse if you don't want to, but I don't know, makes my life a lot easier. So that's a clear staple for me. I always stock up on the Lancome Oscillation mascara. A lot of the time I get asked what kind of mascara I use. The Lancome mascara, I don't know if you can read it. God, I don't know how the people do these things. It basically vibrates, so there's like a little button on the side and it kind of vibrates. I never really feel the need to use the vibrating part of it, but it's supposed to kind of like lengthen your lashes, and I that's my go-to. I get it all the time because I haven't found a mascara that does a better job and doesn't flake off or anything weird. So have to get that. I always stock up on my Anastasia of Beverly Hills eyebrow pencils. I know I use those all the time. If I've run out, I'll get the brow gel as well from Anastasia, but it lasts so long that I usually can only buy that once a year. Typically works. The NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is something that I use pretty much every day, so I make sure I get that. And again, this is something that I buy probably once a year, but the Marc Jacobs liquid eyeliner is my favorite. I just think it gives such a sharp and thick and like matte liquid eye. I can't go wrong with that. And then also, I always try and stock up on like beauty tools. So like Beauty Blender, I always get a new sponge because it's 20 bucks and you could buy that really any time of year, but if you can save an extra couple bucks, like why not? Skincare is also an essential one for me. So I'm almost out of this and have to go repurchase this. This is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. Oh my God, let me just, I swear this is like a peppermint patty for your face. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's so refreshing. I literally take one of these to work or have it in my purse as well. When I'm stressed or something, there's just like no better feeling than just spritzing some of this shit on your face. Like, it feels so good. That's kind of unnecessary skincare, but in terms of skincare that I do feel is necessary, I get my Murad Essential C Toner. This smells like orange, and so in the morning, again, it kind of helps wake me up and it's really nice. I also get my Murad Essential C Day Moisturizer with SPF. I love the way that this feels, and I think it makes my skin just look better. I try and be pretty minimal with my skincare these days. I found that I was using a lot of different products. My skin was just like kind of reacting weird. And since I've pared it down to just basically the Murad toner and moisturizer, my skin, I feel like, has looked a lot better. Every once in a while, I do like to exfoliate, and I have to say gosh, I wish you could see this. Can you see it? No, I don't know. It's the Kate Somerville Exfoliate. This is pretty intense. If you have sensitive skin, this might be too much for you. But I use this like once or twice a week, and I feel like it's the only exfoliant that I've ever used that actually does something. I just leave it in the shower, squirt a little bit out, rub it on my face for 30 seconds in motions, and then just like put shampoo in, and like a minute later rinse it out, and you can literally feel the difference in texture immediately on your skin. I just think it's expensive. I think it's like 80 bucks for 2 fluid ounces, but it's worth it. Masks are another thing that I like to buy on sale. I'm not trying to spend ridiculous amounts of money on masks because there's something I wear maybe once a week, if that. But there are 2 that I do continuously invest in, and I do them kind of together. That's why I end up using them both. But the first is this Caudalie Intense Detox Mask. This basically kind of gets on your face and kind of, it hardens, but it's not a peel or anything. And it's supposed to cleanse impurity and tighten pores. I don't really care about the pores. I just do feel like every time I use it, my skin just feels cleaner, which I like. And so then, because it takes the impurities out, I'll follow it up with the Glam Glow Hydrating Mask. It's the blue one. Again, this shit is expensive, so if you can get it for 15 or 20% off, do it. But this is like oatmeal for your face. God, it smells so good. And I've had this for a long time, and like a little goes a long way. Like, you don't need that much, but I lather this on, and God, it feels like so nourishing. Like you're putting like an oatmeal milk on your face, and you just leave it overnight. And then you wake up with just like soft skin. I love that. Okay, so we talked about skincare. A couple other things, especially if you're into makeup or you like to have a kit or you do other people's makeup, buying like tools, like I mentioned the Beauty Blender, that's just for my own personal use. And then I also like to get brushes. So I just got this one. This is the highlighter brush, when you want to do like a really precise highlight. Do you need it? No. But I like it. And I've been wanting it for a while. I also love this. I got this a long time ago, but they still have it at Sephora. It's the Pro Airbrush Concealer Brush. It just kind of gets in the small areas of your face. Love. And then most of the other time I just kind of use like the Beauty Blender for other things. But, besides eye brushes, it's like a really good time to get a kit if you want to really invest in some tools. Might as well get them on sale. Other things to invest in, I think, palettes or things that you like to travel with, I think are a really good thing. So I have a couple here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow palette. You can see that the bronzer is very well loved. Highlighter, I'm like, I don't know how many people can use this highlighter. I wish the highlighter was like this big and then the bronzer was the rest of it. It just makes a lot more sense to me personally. But this is a really good one, and I would repurchase it. I think the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer is really nice. It's perfectly like cool tone and it doesn't have like super warm tones in it, which I appreciate. Some bronzers are terribly orange. This is another kit. I think it's pretty good for traveling. This is NARS. I think it was limited edition, but they always come out with kits like this. It's got a huge friggin' mirror. But yeah, it's got 2 bronzer shades, which I just mixed together, and then 4 different shades of highlighter. You got a pink, like a deeper bronze, gold, and then like kind of a lighter champagne. I just think this is helpful. If you can get one of these palettes with a highlighter, bronzer, blush, and maybe like a contour color or setting powder or something, that would be really ideal. That way you just like one shot. For those people who just don't like to have a bunch of different products, I think getting a kit or a palette, for a face palette, is a good way to use the sale money. Now, again, if you're like really into makeup and you've kind of been wanting to splurge on some eyeshadow stuff, There's two ways you can do it. You can get a Z palette, and you can go and get individual shadows from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I really love theirs. Makeup Forever does amazing shadows. And then I think, like, you know, I think Urban Decay has singles now. I don't know if you can depot them and put them in a palette like this, but a lot of companies are coming out with the single shadows, so you can build your own kit, which I really love because, you know, this is my go-to palette where I've just kind of custom created all my favorite shades and put them in one. And I have several of these, but I think that if you really want to invest in your personal custom palette, I think this is a good time to do it. But if you want to be really fancy and get something cool, the Natasha Denona section at Sephora has a lot of great eyeshadows. I mean, beautiful. They're very fragile, so like not, they're dropping all over me. They're not great for travel, but the shades are absolutely stunning. This is the blue-brown pigment. You can see that one is like totally busted, and I've like literally gone nowhere with this thing. But they're beautiful, and they're very high quality. Yeah, literally, I have eyeshadow all over me. Great. Fabulous. That's fine. Look how pretty it is. Look, can you see? I don't know. That's just from some fallout. Just one little swatch. Okay, so, and then some other luxury items that I think are worth considering. If you're in the market for a bronzer or any kind of face powder, Hourglass does amazing face powders. So I love, this is just, again, this is like an all over powder for your face. This is the ambient lighting and dim light. Anyone can wear this shade. It's super flattering. And then the second one, my favorite bronzer, is the Luminous Bronze Light, also by Hourglass. There's so much product in these things, like you'll never run out. Like this has a little bit of a dip in this, but I've had it for 2 or 3 years. It's insane. Love this bronzer. If you're interested in a contour color, this one again is super busted. I don't know what's happening to my stuff. But this is a Kevin Aquan little contour in medium. I love it. You can like put it right here and it just kind of carves out the cheekbones a little bit. But that's, again, like, why would you ever buy this? You know, you wouldn't. But if it's on sale and you're in the market for a contour kit or for a contour color, it's a good one. It's worth the investment if you're into that kind of thing. Similarly, this is so gorgeous. Like to put on your makeup desk or whatever, it's beautiful. This is by Guerlain. These are the Meteorites. A very similar thing to the Hourglass. This is a pressed version, whereas this, they're little balls. And you just like swirl a brush in it. It's literally, let me try it. Let me see if you can see a difference on camera. You just take your little brush and you just kind of dust it all over your face. Just to kind of set your foundation, but also just to like kind of make you look a little bit more airbrushed. I don't know if you could tell any difference between then and now, but it's beautiful and it smells great and it looks really pretty. And if you want to feel fancy in the morning, go ahead. Okay, and then kind of once you've, I feel like start with the staples, skincare, luxury items that you've been pining after, and then if you want to be extra and there's some fun things that you just want to look around the store and try, you can do that too. There's a few things that I got in this sale that I never would get if it wasn't on sale. I'm trying this new line. It's new to me. It's called Pretty Vulgar. I've heard really good things about this Cool AF Lava foundation. I'm testing it out. My impressions so far are kind of like, it's probably gonna go back, but it's pretty. It's just like a little too, it looks a little too heavy without putting much on, if that makes any sense. Also from Pretty Vulgar is this really pretty orangey peach coral blush. It's been a really long time since I've bought a blush, and I saw it and I was like, you know, this is a color that I don't have, so let me just try it. And I've actually been really liking it. It's wearing what I'm wearing today, if you can tell. And then also, again, would never buy this, but because it was on sale, I thought, well, might as well give it a try. This might go back. I'm still testing it, but this is the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Face Illuminating Liquid. I've tried putting this on just as like a primer. It's supposed to make your face like look kind of glossy and like just glass. The shit that it's insane, but I fall for it. And then I've also mixed it in with my foundation today. I don't really think it makes a huge difference, which is probably why I'm going to take this back. I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks. Not worth it, I don't think. But that's what I mean about a sale. Like, you can afford a little bit to experiment. And, you know, Sephora has such a great return policy that if it doesn't work out, you can always return it and they'll just put it on display. So it's not, you don't feel too guilty. Last, and I forgot to mention this in the staples, but for me, foundation is a staple. I wear it every single day. So I did get the new one, which is why I didn't restock old ones, and I have a lot of old ones left that I'm using. So I thought I would share some of my favorite foundations in case you care. The one that I'm wearing today and the one that I've been wearing it's just like my favorite at the moment, is the YSL All Hours foundation. This is gorgeous. YSL, honestly, I love their I think it's called the Touche Claw foundation. It's the one in the cylinder bottle. That's got a dewier finish, and I love that in the winter time when my skin's a little more dry. In the summer, this is a matte foundation, though I don't find it terribly mattifying. And it's full coverage up to 24-hour wear. It's got SPF 20 in it, but I just think it looks really beautiful on the skin, and I can't stop wearing it. If I'm not wearing Hourglass, then I'll probably be wearing, if I'm not wearing YSL foundation, I'm probably wearing either the Hourglass Stick Foundation, which is literally, it's so good for the winter. Again, I love this. It's just a stick. It's super easy to apply. You just like rub it on your face. And you can use the Beauty Blender to blend it out, or you can use a brush. I find the brush gives a little bit more coverage with this one, so that's what I use. In the summer, I really love using the Hourglass. This is it's called the Illusion Skin Tint. Again, this is broad spectrum SPF of 15. It's a lighter coverage, but I still feel like it is buildable. So I like using this in the summer months. It just happens to be a little light for me right now, which is why I've been using the YSL one. Lastly, and this is perfect for photography or events if you're going to something where you know there's going to be flash photography or videography. This is the Makeup Forever HD foundation. It's a classic. It's kind of no frills, but on camera it looks amazing. So I always have this handy. Anyway, that is, and one last thing is perfume. If you are in the market for perfume, this is a perfect time to get it. My favorite perfumes right now that you can get at Sephora are the Roses by Chloe. That's kind of like my signature. I also love the Burberry Brit. I'm looking at my perfume. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the classics like the regular Chloe or Flower Bomb. I know a lot of people like that one. And the Chanel Chans, of course. Anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking for the sale. It does end tomorrow, the 27th, I believe. So, get it together, take a little trip tonight or tomorrow to visit Sephora and get your items. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.